The abbreviated story is we began fostering for People Places in 2007. We have had about nine placements, and currently have one that has been with us for almost 4 years, and we are in the process of adopting, which we didn't think we would do. And so, how far back do you want me to go? Like in terms of the People Places story, or?
No, I think that's good. So
when we began this whole process, we thought we would just foster. That our intention was to just open our home, and as many children that came through, then that's how many came through. But we did kind of think, well, maybe there is the possibility that an adoption would take place, and we wanted to be open to that. And our whole point in getting into this was because we feel like we were led to do this. We believe that our faith was a major part of us getting into it. We believe that we had the skills and abilities that we were blessed with to be able to work with children that come from hard places. And we just wanted to make sure that we were being open about whether or not the children would get to stay or would they just come and go. And so our thought process has always been that whatever God placed on our hearts, we wanted to be able to be open and to be good stewards of that. Well, he was our youngest placement that we had had. We had had mostly teenagers up until that point. And he just fit. It just made sense. Our biological children, who are 25 and 22, were like, Mom and Dad, this guy just fits with our family. He really loves sports. He really has this kind of funky sense of humor, and he enjoys having a good time and being around people, and it just makes sense that it just felt right. So I think it was a combination of things: the timing, the feeling, the availability of him to be able to join our family permanently, and of course we just love him like crazy. Well, for the children or for us?
For you.
For us.
How have the children blessed you?
Oh gosh, so the children have blessed us in so many ways, in more ways than I can even begin to articulate. First and foremost is that when you're parenting children from difficult places, you have to go about things in a completely different way. How we parented our older children is very different from how we parent our youngest one now. And in order to do that, my husband and I have to be on the same page. We have to present as a united front. So it meant that we needed to be able to communicate in a way that we could understand each other. So not only has it improved our ability to communicate, but it's improved our marriage overall, because we have to be together. We have to come together and talk about how are we going to address this issue today, or how are we going to make sure that we're doing this together. And I'm very blessed to have a husband who wanted to be involved in every step of this process, and he doesn't want me to have to do this on my own. It isn't about one being the primary caretaker as much as it is about us being a team. And so being able to come together and honor each other and all of these ways, to be able to acknowledge all the blessings that come from opening our home to children, and being able to see all of the growth and the just the way that the children take from us, and to be able to look at that and say, hey, that little seed came from us, that little nugget is from us, and it's from the way that we relate to each other. And of course, we want children to be able to learn how to be in relationship with other people, and in order for them to do that, it has to be modeled for them. And so I think that's the biggest thing.
Go ahead. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. The type of support and training that we get from People Places has really, I think, blossomed over the years that we've been fostering. We had our basic parenting course when we first started the process, and over time, I think People Places has realized that there's more to it than just seeing the antecedent to the behavior, and then the consequences. That there's more involved, particularly for children who have trauma and attachment needs. And so there's the parent support group that we participate in, and there's training that happens within that is geared towards being able to build relationships with children that have difficulty attaching or who attach too quickly, being able to recognize how trauma impacts their ability to be a part of the family, to be able to manage life just on the regular, and the support that we get from our family consultants has been incredible. I honestly don't know how we would have been able to do this without their support, without being able to call them to say, hey, this is what's happening today, and I either need to vent or I just need a little bit of advice or support in trying to figure out what's the best thing for this child to make sure we're doing the right thing for them. We've had family consultants sit with us all night long at the hospital if that's what was needed, and just being able to call Joyce if we have any questions, or Michelle, or any of the other staff to just kind of bounce ideas off of has been really, really supportive and incredible. We've been with People Places this long because of the level of support that we get, because we are able to talk to people who are truly interested in helping children grow from this experience. The reason we've been with People Places for so long is because of the level of support that we get from them, that we are able to have a conversation about what children need, and they are open to thinking about how can we make sure that this child is getting the most of what they need out of this placement and truly being able to blossom in a way that helps their life trajectories become hopeful, fruitful, and abundant once they become adults. One of the reasons why we continue to do this is because of those tiny little nuggets, the child who's physically adverse to touch, who leans in for a hug for the first time, or the teenager who, left your house and with lots of pomp and circumstance, who comes back later and says, hey, thank you for what you did, and it means so much to me that I was able to spend this time with you and learn from you. Or the one that comes back later and says, I really want to be able to give back to you and to People Places, and just being able to maintain relevant in their lives and somebody that they think about later. That's such a blessing, and that's one of the reasons why we continue to do it, because we have been able to maintain some of those relationships with our former foster children.